still sort of in process of writing, but I think it's just about settled down now. And it's sort of inspired by that Monty Python sketch called The Four Yorkshiremen. So I call it, I either call it Pose That He Ain't What It Used to Be or Yorkshire Poets. So I've got to practice the accent and everything a lot more. So here goes. I remember them bygone days, in club toiling away reciting verse, we had to bide for better part of her, then in basement trudge for better or worse. There were some folk as didn't get a place like, and some folk we not to drink but canned beer. In them days we had to make do, you know. It was an hard drudge in poetry career. Reading off to mobile phone business. In them days there were none of that. We had to use our loaf like and learn to poem, slogan, grudge, or hot mic. We leaves with the tat. We had it digging up to stanzas. In poetry venue it were tough time. We not but to old paper notebook. We had to fudge poem and chisel out to rhyme. We not but Mike twixt us and audience. It were real challenging when you lose your thread. And when you get home from hard night's paucity, we had cup of sludge and slice of brown bread. Not that I'm to judge. It were champion. Any road. We were to lucky ones. Thank you. Got to work on the accent a bit more on that one. Okay, I've not got one on the buses, so that's my two poems.
Richard, have I asked you this before? You haven't published any of this stuff, have you?
I haven't.
I haven't. I've recorded most meetings. Most meetings are on the Facebook group, and most meetings end up on the Facebook group with the Highgate Society. We've got poems on our notice boards, and it's interesting, we can collect all of these poems together and maybe in 12 months' time have another publication. Right, can I call on Gwyneth to read us too, please?
Okay. Right. I tried to write them about the buses. And first one is Up from the Country. Can you hear all right?
Yes. Yes.
Good. Up from the country, visiting the city, to see the things you want to visit. For reassuring certainty, take the tube. Study the map, learn your lines. Key to success, you know your home base. If you live in the city, the bus is your friend. Through bus windows, you absorb your city. See the landmarks, learn locations. The bus opens up your living city. The bus numbers, you learn bus numbers, recall destinations. Use a digital reminder to find times and places. Perhaps you've treasured those old timetables. Perhaps you've treasured and kept them for good. That's it. That's the one about Up from the Country. The other one is one that it's something that annoys me about people on buses. So I've called it Pardon Me, Madam. Pardon me, madam, does your bag need a seat? How rude, how dare you? Pardon me, madam, does your bag have a bus seat, a bus pass? How rude, how dare you? Pardon me, madam, if I am rude. Fare-paying passengers are searching for a seat. Pardon me, madam, does your bag need a seat? That's it. Okay.
Me too. I hate those people who do that. They put their bag and sit on the outside, don't they?
Yes, and I once challenged somebody about it, and I got a mouthful.
Mm.
So that's it. Those are the 2 poems I start with. Right.
Gwyneth, I've put my email in the chat if you want me to use it in the project. It'd be lovely to.
Pardon me, madam.
Yeah, or the other one as well, if you like. Because I'm gonna collage things together.
Yes, yes.
And then they're going to be pieces that people can listen to on their phone.
Because half of the first poem I feel very strongly about. Well, it was a contrast, because the underground gets you there, but if you sit on a bus, you learn the city.
You do. You
Yes.
do. You could become a cab driver.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Okay, that's it.
But if you don't mind, take my email and we'll set up a time to record it. I can do it on Zoom.
Where will I get your email?
I've put it in the chat. Can you see the chat?
No.
Richard, would you be kind enough to send Gwyneth my email?
Silence.
You're on mute, Richard.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm happy. Right, yes, I'm happy to send Gwyneth your email address. But if we can get on with the poetry, Mr. Herbstein.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I was hoping to hop on as many buses as I could in a day and write down the advertising on the outside and put together an amusing sort of claptrap of what we're being sold as we wait for the buses that don't arrive. Although since the glorious days of Ken Livingstone, they do arrive much better. That's for you, Boris. Okay, so this one's called On the Buses, just generally. I've also got a bit of a throat, so if my word disappears, I'll come back and do it again. On the buses, soused as an emptied flagon's worth, and the odor to prove it, he waits, twisting and turning on the pavement, laughing and blithering in casual harmony at the driver as the sliding gangplank stays stuck in the belly of the 132. Ah, but here it comes. He jostles a mother and her pushchair charge. No gentleman he, but good-hearted, as he claims the droit d'entrée for his personal carrier. Here, give us a push in, tilting his head in manner suggestive at a lady traveller. No need, and without her, he's over and in, prime place in the belly of the bus. Winks at his wee neighbour, who, would you believe, returns the smile of an eye. The driver knows where he's headed and why. To the end of the line and back to the terminus, damn him. And then again, warm and in good company, till the shift expires. He's no threat to humankind, won't draw a knife with his remaining arm, or the gun that didn't shoot in Kandahar. He sleeps and snores and dreams the same old story, but the conniving toddler's long gone. That's it. I can't hear. Okay.
There's no applause.
Wonderful.
Okay, now I've got another poem, but this one I fortuitously I had written for my one and only work of poetry open to the general public. Wow. And it's called Just the Ticket. Some of you might have heard it. I can't remember reading it, but I probably have, because there are not many poems in this collection. It's called Just the Ticket. 10 years later, and she's on the 134, a bedraggle of a woman, baggage sprawled across the floor, rakes through her handbag for the Oyster card. Driver mouths, "Hurry up," through the caged window. She pats the pocket of her charity windbreaker, fine combs her denims. No luck. "Driver," says a voice, "why are we waiting?" She looks up, waves to me. "Hi, Denis." At last, the magic travel pass is found. No show of triumph or relief, but laughs, as if we're here to see the spectacle. Parries her load along the aisle. "How's the daughter?" she asks, friendly. The driver twists his neck to see what's up, glides us off at last to Camden Town. She sits down alongside. "You made a pass at me once, non sotto voce. Your wife well, I trust." I see her now. Saturday morning football, Church Lane Primary. "My lad's in the army. You remember him?" Her only boy, wiry centre forward, not much at maths. "Helmand Province," she whispers, but enough for the silenced bus. 2 stops and she's up again. "Must love you and leave you," chuckles. "Don't need a ticket to get off, do I?" They stare at the smeary window, but their eyes are on me.
Right, I love that, Denis. Loved it. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Okay, now, that's been published years ago. Now I've got a piece here which I just want to write. It's doggerellish, almost cataleptic. What other animals can I think of? Right, and it's called Huggery Pokery. Will we have to hug? Be obliged to clasp another being and draw them to our bosom by law? Are we to be ordered by the Prime Minister or by John Lewis to besiege granny homes and lift the fragile folk up in the air, their feet hovering above the tea and scones so that they perish without further ado? Encircle miners in the street and risk assertions of predatory practice leading to life on a distant island and or a fine of a week's wages? Will dogs be safe? Pet pythons? Lionesses at the zoo? Swallows in need of solace on their flight through Africa lured into the pot? Immigrants wading ashore on Dover Beach? Where does it end? This huggery buggery metaphor for freedom? I'll tell you. At the forthcoming wave, number 6 or 7 or 17, whatever the cunning variant, that shows us to the grave. Right, I've exhausted myself.
That's a happy ending, Denis. I hope you can find something for later on. In the meantime, Michelle,
Okay.
regale us.
I'm a glass full empty, not half empty.
Oh, well, if you want to send me your poems and you want me to record them, please. Richard, shall I just ask you to give everyone my email and then it's up to people if they contact me? Is that all right?
You want them read, do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the poem that inspired me to do this, which isn't written by me.
And
It
what
was
about the face contortions?
Well, the face contortions will be brilliant. I'm doing two things. I'm doing sound tapes and video. So,
All right.
so both. So this poem was written by David Morris, who used to be the disability advisor to the Mayor of London. Unfortunately, he
Which mayor of
died.
London?
Ken Livingstone,
That's all right.
because David died in 2010, but he was published in one of the books I published. It's called Route Master Race. I once fell off a Route Master bus on Barnet Hill in the snow, I am told. I was young and walking just, with tired legs, knock-kneed, running fast out of usefulness. Not an urban surfer, baby. You will soon know your place. A London bus, not for you, not for me. You'll not be part of the Route Master race. Segregated, tailgated, transported apart. Sometimes it felt like we were going to market, tied down in rows, waving to the real world, sent away jolting and crying in the back of a Mini, not a master bus. Not an urban pole dancer, baby. We don't want you in our face. Stay on the sunshine base or bus. You're not part of the Route Master race. Away from London, away from life, bussed to our separation by ambulance. At least that's what it said, spelt backwards. So they could see our difference. Hopeless, helpless, kids apart. You're not an urban person, baby. You should know your place. Go stay in the institution, not part of the Route Master race. Waiting for the 142, basking in late autumn sun, and a small commuter crowd complaining about Metro line. The red beast sighs, doors open, and I board. Welcome for the first time. Part of London, part of life. I'm free from transport tyranny, baby, and on your fucking case. Don't get fooled by your urban myth. It's over, the Route Master race. So that was the poem that inspired me to do this whole project in the first place. So I thought I'd share it with you.
Thank you.
And now I'll... Sorry?
Yes, thank you. I could do with reading that.
It's a really interesting poem because it's about, he was a wheelchair user.
Yes.
And it really struck me how buses are just so part of everyday life, you know, and if you're excluded from them, then you would feel excluded from life. It's a really powerful thing. So here's some poems I wrote myself.
Yeah, just before you do this, there's a lot of background noise going on. It sounds as if a lot of trays are being moved around.
Oh, I think it's my partner cooking dinner.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Tell him to stop snapping the asparagus.
If only. All right then. The bus driver's prayer, the anonymous stare, the wheels that go round and round, the traffic lights that stop you, the crossings that delay you, the protests that divert you, and then the roadworks do it too. You'll never be late as long as you leave early. Make sure there's time for hold-ups, stoppages and setbacks. Just grab the back seat at the top of the bus. There's a heater under there, a window to look out from and a place to hide on the ride. Read a book, dodge a fare. Don't worry about dates. They'll wait. Yes, they will, as long as they remember that you're coming by bus. Old buses, of course. So that's that one.
Is that, were those the days when you had a ticket collector?
Yeah, when you had a conductor. And you could sneak in. That seat behind the stairs was a really good seat because they quite often didn't ask you for your fare.
Right.
Says a person who obviously didn't try and avoid paying sometimes. Anyway, it was 35p, or was it? The Red Bus Rover. A whole day out. Packed lunch on board. Tupperware boxes, of course. All together. Hold tight. We'll be out tonight. Is it an 84? Was it 68? Did we use a 45? Were we out till late? We could go where we wanted, when we wanted. There were no zones. Just one price with the Red Bus Rover. It was the day trip, your day out. Full price was 13, not 16. You try to pay half price, and then as the conductor went down the stairs, out came the fags. It was made for you and me, a cheap day out. The kids were all by themselves, bus hopping. The route master wheels rule the roads, part of the excitement. Windows on the world being London, London being the Thames, the city that we would ride. The route master bus travels from the suburbs to the centre, back to the suburbs again. We go bus hopping. I haven't really finished that one. I'm working on that one.
I haven't got to the terminus yet.
No,
They're great poems, though.
They're
thank
very
you.
good and quite absorbing.
Yeah, with great feeling.
Well, I like spending time on public transport.
Well, it's in a city like London, it's an essential, isn't it?
Unfortunately, my feeling on public transport is that I'm just looking forward to getting off.
So our next poet will be Christopher, but Christopher, can I ask you to kind of encourage Joyce maybe to read as well?
Sorry, can I do what?
Can I encourage,
Joyce.
can I encourage Joyce to read up?
You want my mother to read something? Oh, well, you haven't got anything.
Yeah, she would.
have you?
Certainly nothing about buses.
No, she hasn't got anything prepared.
Okay.
She's got. Oh, do you want to read your three-liner one that you were prepared for tomorrow's?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, she will read you. Hold on a minute. Oh, hold on. Just hold on a second. I'll find it. Where is it? Oh, I know where it is. Here it
What's
is.
happened to Aronson?
Yeah, the the other group, the writing group, which meets tomorrow, they normally ask for a story, but my mother has written a 3-line poem, and the title for tomorrow, it's called The Postcard. And Neil, do you want to just read that? And I'll just bring that over here. It's just 3 lines. Yeah, and it's called The Postcard.
He gave a choice, which I don't like.
No,
Either the postcard or murder most foul.
Yeah.
And
So you chose the postcard.
I chose the postcard.
Yes.
The postcard said, "Wish you were here." A non-committal stab at life.
There we are. That's it. Short and sweet.
What was it, Patty? I know what to say.
Non-committal stab.
There you are. Well done.
Yes, well done, Joyce.
Yeah.
Excellent, Joyce. Thank you. No, Christopher.
Thank you, yes.
Yes. All right. Well, I took a stab at writing something about buses. Just a minute. Sorry, I've got to just reorganise things here a bit. Just okay. Okay, here we go. Oop. Okay, here's my one. Okay, so London buses. Hints of light shimmer through the distant evening gloaming. Sound workhorse draws ever closer through the driving rain. Nothing like the timetable, cries a young man moaning. Hopes rise as the route number comes into view again. Giant creatures overwhelming diesel-engined might draws up, disgorges mothers talking, holding children tight, and workers glad of double pay earned from working nights. Mind the road when you alight, look both to left and right. Conductor pulls the cord, ding ding, signalling to go. In a cubby hole that's all his on the rear platform. Fills clipboard out with figures, ticks boxes, yes or no. Posts it in a little box near where he stores his uniform. Moves swiftly from the lower deck, mounts the winding stairs, for joiners seated in their pews must pay the tariff due. Up the aisle he saunters, seeking those alone and in pairs, calling loudly, "Any more fares, please?" He's looking down at you. Your stop is next en route, and your wish is to alight. Pull the cord or press the bell once only, not to confuse the driver into thinking it perfectly all right to pass that halt, and thus the system badly to abuse. Buses were the perfect choice for going to school when young. Meet your friends, tell jokes and tales, share homework on the way. 2 coppers paid to the clippy bought you a twopenny one. Just the ticket, paper too, quite the normal way to pay. When young in class at school, a bus we had to draw. Words too were a requirement to illustrate our thoughts. A bus, I scrawled. To my chagrin, the teacher wanted more, other than, "This is a bus." My scribing came to naught. The teacher implored, "If you want to succeed, strive for an accompanying piece with some vibrant words, to conjure up, aptly describe, make your picture come alive." Smote, I wrote her sweet nothings, to be seen but not heard. I had cousins. Both were asked what they would like to be when grown up at work, earning a living. daily crust. Drive a big red London bus, that's the métier for me, said one. The passenger, his sibling purred, if I really must. One could go on about London buses all day long. A bus gets you there. It's not luxury, but enough to get you from A to B without making a song and dance about it. Let's now talk about other stuff.
Ah,
There we
of
are.
course, it's luxury. What is greater luxury than to sit on the back seat upstairs with the heating on, reading T.S. Eliot? Oh my God, and saying, what the hell is this about? You couldn't do that in a car without being arrested.
Oh, it's lovely, those bits about the conductors.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Anything else, Chris?
No, I'm afraid I can only produce one a month.
You've got to get into it, man.
My body only allows one a month.
Well, you take an elixir.
Yeah.
We want more. Well, I was hoping to read Aronson, to hear him.
Richard.
So I'm afraid he's dropped out. But I'm afraid he had a weak internet connection. Otherwise, I'd have liked to hear Simon too. But as he's not here, and I am, my contribution to our discussion about London buses is called Bus Dreams. There I sat, dreaming you at the back, next to sea. She struck a swan vesta, but that was long ago. Condensation dripping, drawing an initialed art, pointing my name at yours. There I sat, dreaming you. The bench seat, long and damp, imagined kissing you. Lost in a fog of dreams at the back, next to she. With her long coat and boots, I smelt her cigarette, a Woodbine, number 6. She struck a swan vesta. We could have been well matched, long blonde and red-headed. We could have caught a fire, but that was long ago. We got off of our bus, walked up a garden path, rummaged under covers, my fingers on her back. I lingered a short while, exhausted somewhere else. She threw back our covers, striking a swan vesta, laying on damp patches, thinking London buses in a space called winter, drawing your initial heart. And that's my London buses. Thank you.
Oh, very good. That's very clever about the swan vest, because they used to advertise swan vestas on the side of buses.
And the number 6, remembering number 6 cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well. No, it was lovely, all the references, because it has a lot of smells associated with it. You know.
Where did the 6 go? Where did the number 6 go?
It was a cigarette.
Yes.
Oh, it wasn't a bus.
No, it was
players number 6.
Oh, players number 6. Good Lord, yes. But there must have been a number 6 bus. There
probably is.
Oh, I don't know why they called it players number 6.
So, Richard, the same for you and for Christopher. Please email me and we'll set up recording it.
Okay. And my second contribution tonight is from a sequence of poems I wrote about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and it's called Joshua Losing His Battle, He Goes. I stand before the edifice like Joshua, arms outstretched, about to put a bugle to my lips, calling on this church to crumble. Atheist, my urge is strong, agnostic, ignorant, I'm labelled. Activist, my chant goes up, my faith will not be rumbled. Yet here we are, here we stand before the golden temple gate, awestruck mouths gaping wide, without a word left to grumble. The building remains in grace, cracked, fissured and decayed, entombed yet reincarnated, saved by the money men. Right, and not we humble. I stand down before the edifice, bow down to developing gods, enslaved again in Egypt lands, my thoughts today sold like jumble. And those are my contributions. I think we should take a 10-minute break and then come back.
Okay.
Okay, see you at 1933.
I thought you were saying a 10-minute break.
Just to say, for people who know, I did put my email in the chat as well, but I'm happy for Richard to send it to you all.
So, here we are, come back again. I think Andrew has left us. Oh no, he's still there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just about here, I think.
Right, however, just before reading, Andrew, I'd like you to know that on Mayday,
Yeah,
right, I wrote 16 acres all about Mayday. Right, and I can only remember one, and it goes like this. 999, Mayday, Mayday, spring emergency. Over to you.
Yes, Mayday, Mayday.
Gwyneth,
Oh,
Gwyneth, we
Yes?
can't see you. Can you rise up or?
Oh, right. I have problems with my iPad and seeing what I've written because I can't print because my computer's away being sorted and I can't use my printer. So I'll rise up. I was trying to get the light from the window.
Hmm. But it's one of the attractions of these meetings, to see your face.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But lots of positive comments tonight about your face on the iPad, Gwyneth.
Yes. Right.
The other thing about the iPad is it moves around. You can take it with you to a window.
Yes, but the light's beginning to go and
Ah.
going. And
Now, Richard, when do you think we will be able to meet in flesh?
I'm hoping quite soon, if not next month, month after. We'll wait and see.
Not June, but after June the 21st,
Oh, yes.
everything is possible.
Yeah. Okay, over to Andrew Ray for more pagan poetry.
Here we go. Okay, so another Mayday poem. This one in Victorian times. It's Mayday morning. Young ladies who celebrate the May out early morn, finding a bouquet, their families' homes to soon adorn, gathering May baskets in the corn. Young wenches with young lads doth play, and laugh and court in meadows stray. On a warm and sunny spring days, such deeds may simply be guessed among the meads. In every bush a song beest made, the landscape's beauty is now laid. In some secret place within the field, young men and maidens willingly yield. Of 10 maids that went to the May, 9 returned home with infant that day. It's best be said, wed bed. Oh, bugger. It's best be said, courtship, bed and wed, else grass widows women be thee instead. In every marriage it be'st said, in Avalon's field, bed trees red, love poems to mistresses be writ, before to wenches they doth commit. Thank you. And if you like, I can do one more May poem. If I can get enough light for it. Here we go. Today, the 1st of May, the 1st of May be Garland Day. This is what we used to say. We once went a Maying, brightly painted, lofty maypoles, happy, frolicking, dancing souls, lusty play with no controls. We once went a Maying, maypoles with green boughs around, in circle bound, a crown on top, such wondrous sound. We once went a Maying, the May Queen in her summer's gown, May flower for her floral crown, with so much mead is falling down. We once went a Maying, the May King with a ribboned mace falls around, and Queen will chase. Will she be him Jack in the green of the May tide, behind lush foliage hide in no time.
I trouble you, see. Ready? Not working.
Yeah, but it's probably not working on his side.
No.
Okay, sadly, Andrew, we seem to have lost you.
Let's all go a Maying.
Richard?
Yes, Denis.
My wife tells me that she's just been on a Zoom and 2 of the people there, the internet just wasn't working. Apparently it's happening all over North London.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's I've been checking on the side here what's going.
Yeah. There's something that Andrew told us about earlier. So sorry about that. Kind of nothing I can do with broadband, I'm afraid. So Gwyneth, are you ready to speak to us with
yes,
more
I'll
poetry?
do my best. I wrote a poem about bus queues because I'm right. An experience at the clock tower in Crouch End. There's an orderly bus queue at one side of the road and a rabble at the other. I look longingly across the street at an orderly queue of patient people waiting quietly for their bus to work. Look at us here. We're an unruly cluster of early morning shoppers with bulging bags. Can't read it. Battering around the bus stop and shelter. I read the signs and decide to opt out. We've gone, haven't we? We've come back. I read the signs, decide to opt out, creep towards the baker's window. He must often wonder, do I really love his cakes? I'm always peering at them from the bus stop. There's a surge of expectation, so a bus must be due. From their carefully chosen, advantageous positions, determined matrons jockey for position. Winners and losers form a kind of a queue. I silently meander to join the tail. I'll have to work on that one. Okay.
Work in progress.
Work in progress, yes.
One can always use that as an excuse. I do all the time.
Right, well, it's work in progress. And then the last one I've written is about the number 5 bus. My favorite route. Was it one man's vision or a committee's consent? Across the borough, from east to west, from Haringey's Sainsbury's to the Whittington Hospital and the underground at Archway. Right, winding its way through suburban streets, a single deck hopper, a friend to all, and it stops at my door. Right, that's the number 5. That's me finished.
No, that's a lovely story.
Lovely story. Human. Talking about humans, Mr. Herbstein, can we have more poetry from you?
I've got nothing new.
Nothing new? Something old? Something cold, something borrowed, something blue.
Something blue, something, the wedding thing.
Oh, right.
So he's saying, what about something old?
Well, let me have a look while somebody else reads.
Okay, Michelle?
Okay, I'll read then. I don't know if I've read any of these here before, so if I have, I guess never mind. Exercise. We wake up late because we go to bed late. We get up late, go to the loo, feed the cats, stop. Making porridge, banana, water, soya, milk, porridge, made. I'm up, Not stressed yet, not cleaned my teeth yet, but hey, new day. Zoom. Tuned to 1 p.m. Lunch. 3. Zoom. Lens. Zoom again at 2 p.m. 3. Stop. Teams. 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. Still not had any fresh air. Phew. Zoom. I have put a little lipstick and mascara for the camera. That's that one. I've got another one here. It's February 2021. Do I risk a bus ride? 2 seats back from the front window, which is open at the side. The virus is lurking and I cannot see. I have to wear a mask and stay calm. It's a short journey. I'm going from Old Kent Road to Tottenham Court Road, getting on at Old Kent Road. But the sights outside of me are alien to me. What used to have been here has been demolished and replaced by new tower blocks. Streets unknown, developed undercover. None of it was something I knew before I got home. I don't remember the smells. I feel lost by these new tower blocks towering over me. That's that one. Roll up, track and trace here. Explain more. PR code to the rock steady beat, the track and trace of the COVID space. The aerosol is in the air. It can fly up your nostril, unlike the ball in a pinball machine. It'll hit the back of your eyeball and then roll straight back down. It won't stop there. As topping itself right back up more. Take your track and trace to heart. New as the aerosol is not visible. Rages through your parts as it gets up in the nostrils, in through the eyeballs, and joins your airways straight to your heart. It washes down, gives you hot flushes through your kidneys. Corona ain't giving up on you, baby. Track and trace is on the case, out of the race. Corona's ramped up the pace. If you won't, it won't. Stay out of the race. Bedroom, bathroom, living room, kitchen, bedroom. My bedroom faces east. I wake up at 8. Sunlight on my bed, cats meow, and I get up. I feed them and go back to bed. There we go.
Wow. Better read something else.
Sorry,
I'm sure I've read this before, because it's one of my favorite things. And it's my respect for cats, for the feline species. And it's called Felicity.
Oh, that's a beautiful picture.
That's by my cousin by marriage, Leonard Marchant. Okay, Felicity. All day the cat sits on the wall. What is he thinking? He has no intimation of mortality as he weighs up a pigeon, unblinking. Life is all so simple. He eats, sleeps, he takes his constitutional, yet when the end approaches, he knows he's not invincible. While we, so sure, conscient beings who strut this planet without pity, shudder, indulge in make-believe as we knock on the door of eternity. All the blessings of our lives are blighted by this single doubt. Is it dust to dust, or God in heaven waiting as we go out? My cat, oh cat, who sits on the mat, if there's one thing certain he knows, he can't understand the alphabet, but he won't care a damn when he goes.
Anything else from you, Denis?
What's that?
Anything else?
You got anything else you want?
I got lots of things, but I get bored hearing them.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do something then.
I'll give you one or two things. Hold on. Okay. This is a poem from the Vlei. A vlei is the Afrikaans for a lagoon, which is where I grew up, on something called Sant Vlei, Sand Lagoon, which runs into False Bay, which is the first bay that you get to when you go around the Cape of Good Hope. And it's called False Bay because when the Portuguese rounded the Cape of Good Hope, they thought, we've gone round Africa. And in fact, they went on, and the most southerly point is, further on, I've disappeared, in Cape Agulhas. Sorry, wait a minute. Oh, God. There we are. And so False Bay. And it's called The Catch. When you saw her from behind, squatting on the folding chair, a Buddha in reverse, immobile as the heron on the spit of land across the water, she seemed old, though we never saw her face. Once when we were playing cricket, the ball hit her on the head, quite gently. She palmed the leather and returned it with a mighty throw, then cast her line afresh, her sou'wester crinkling in the wind, to no avail. All nature seemed to mock. The kingfisher nosedived the lake, sauntered off, silver dangling from its beak. Gulls swooped, coots scolded, the blacksmith blubber clanked. A cormorant, having breakfasted well, hung its wings out to dry, provocatively, and she waited. If ever she lifted her rod high to unhook a tiddler into the basket at her side, we never saw it. It didn't seem to matter. What went through her mind, we asked? Was she seeking nirvana, ironing out the flaws that hindered her journey? Did her lover not return from the war, or did and found her wanting? A lifetime later, I return. Barbecue smoke drifts along the shoreline. A voice speaks on a mobile phone. Lovers lie behind a tree that once provided cover. She's gone, of course, but still the heron waits beyond, catching the prize she never did in 40 years.
That's excellent, Denis. Love that one too. Okay, my first one of part two.
What about it?
Log that one too.
About a father's gifts. Beware of this bull I sometimes speak. Daddy's little lamb I rarely bleat. Woodbines, number 6, Dad likes his fags. A shiny brass, some soldier's tags. To sing his song in baritone, breaks his quiet nature, set like hard stone. His goodness, his pride, his hidden frown will seep inside and one day become my own. Number 1. Now, write a warning Right, right, I have a rehearsal. Right, I have a performance coming up on the 21st of May, which I would like to share with you as a dress rehearsal. And what it means is I'm going to share screen, and so in a minute different pictures will appear, which I will start reading from.
And to email it to me. To email it. It's very difficult to explain.
And so here we go. They came and they saw us just before they kicked us, calling us names and calling us the hated. He, the backwards man, gets David Bowie flash rung. He does it on purpose. I'm all locked down on lockdown, writing single line haikus for my love. Blue machinery attacked innocent people on their way to work. As the sun goes down, the chickens come home to roost, eggs in the morning. I'm all locked down on lockdown, feeling the darkness settle all around. Blue machinery easily overpowered by yellow sunshine. Whites will turn green. Faded. Whites will turn green. Too much washing machine. Beat sound from an upstairs window. Hollies, bus stop, reached number 5. Such a long time ago. Hopping on the open platform, size 9s. A dream scene from Essex landed the discotheque. With no night buses going home. Holly. I'm all locked down on lockdown, listening for blackbirds in the dawn chorus. Capture the day to day like walls and dustbin lids to leave signs of what life was like before. Danger, deep blue water, still stagnant, dumb disease like conservative policies with fleas flying, biting your skin, buzzing on the outside, irritation, you let walk in, poisoned, and I'm all locked down on lockdown, looking for a way to get through these times. Don't send me back there. That callous institution I once called my home. Beneath the sea you hide, in places you survive, mighty ones now with fallen pride, ashamed, and I'm all locked down on lockdown, open windows circulating winter. Herb's wrinkled skin cracks, dehydration makes it dry, unable to feed. Vibrant, the super crips turning from blue to red like gold-winning medalist heroes. Come on, turn us on last. Afterthought of wheelchairs, always follow Olympians, follows. And I'm all locked down on lockdown, trying not to freak out at the death count. From my lonely two-dimensional conflicts, seeking global peace. Happy smiling face cynicism bugs me out. Why so skeptical? I'm all locked down on lockdown, watching shadows steal sly across my wall. Her foot on my stone blue heart, trampling my life into a state of submission. Here, have you ever thought how much art is in our hearts. Don't you just love it? And I'm all locked down on lockdown. Like an engine softly ticking over. Here stands a monolith to civic dignity, burnished gold built on workers' soul, protest fight back against the yoke, New Year honours bestow with change status, newly stationed corrupt. A minor mollusk clinging to rocks for dear life like a miracle. I'm all locked down on lockdown with no particular place to go, Chuck. I thank you.
Richard, that was so good. And who, I mean, apart from the words, who did the graphics?
Right, I did them, Denis.
Who was
Right,
that?
I did them myself.
Oh, right. Good. So you have another string to your bow.
Yeah,
It's very impressive.
like Michelle really, he's an artist, and right, I call myself an artist, but right, I work largely with words and right, I wish my images were as fine as Michelle's are really.
Yeah.
They're great. And they're expressive with words.
It's enormous stuff, that really is.
Multimedia.
Yeah,
Multimedia artists.
that's what we do.
Yeah.
Did you go to art school?
Michelle did.
Yeah, I did, yeah. So I'll show you a drawing of mine. Hang on. You might have seen it before. There's one.
Why?
But these are just on the telephone. And then like that one.
I like that one.
That's a photograph of Richmond Pond, but then I've worked on it. Like Richard you worked on your images, didn't you? So you would have taken the colours out and changed them.
Yeah.
Quite a talented bunch here, really.
What were you using to do the changing? What some bit of software or something?
Me or Richard?
Oh well, I thought it was perhaps the same. But what do you use?
Right, I use something called Shotwell.
Shotwell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I use something called Affinity because it's cheaper than Photoshop. But you can use a thing that's free called Faststone. It's a freeware.
Oh, okay.
And Faststone does quite a lot. Is yours a freeware, Richard?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we could have another round of poetry. Andrew's left us. Gwyneth, anything from you?
No, I've got no, I only brought my poems about the buses, so.
Okay, fine.
It's an omnibus bus poem.
Say again?
Huh?
That's another word from you. Denis?
What about?
Right, about anything you want.
Oh, you want me to do another one? Right, okay.
Yeah, one more.
Okay,
We've got time. But I'm hoping Wendy will turn up soon.
yes, I mean, The quality has been high, but you just want a few more people, yeah. Seamus and
Yeah.
what's his name, Richard?
Simon.
Okay. I mean, I think this is a short one. This is a snobby piece from the Wigmore Hall. You've all been to the Wigmore Hall, have you? That's what
No.
Yes.
Oh my God, you spoilt it now. Thought I had a royal flush. Okay, it's called Wigmore Hall. A man clapped between movements at the Wigmore Hall. He didn't seem put out at all. Au contraire, he was so pleased with what he'd heard. The gentleman to his right pursed his lips. Then again, as the violins faded quietly on the vivace assai of Haydn's Russian, and the punters prepared to gently cough and shift bountiful behinds, he clapped again, to which the acoustics offered perfect resonance. The lady to his left, in pearls and green, looked about her for an usher. He was enjoying all he'd seen. After the scherzo came the shush, please, sir, while he consulted his program, unaware, prepared for the finale in G major. He just didn't seem to care. When the piece was done and he rose to applaud the fun, the quartet leader offered him a bow that knocked the stuffing out of the cow behind him.
Nice one, Denis. Okay, I'm going to take one more from Michelle, one more from me, and then we'll kind of decide on next month's challenge. Michelle.
Okay. So this is a Mayday one. Mayday Playday, once celebrated by flying the red flag, parading the troops and standing in Red Square, or dancing round the maypole in yesteryear. But it's today's SOS call, the Mayday Choir. We need leadership out of corruption. We need deliverance from the feudal system. We are prisoners in disguise, still bowing to landed gentry. The House of Lords does not fly the red flag. There is only one civil servant pampering the privileged, and the media sucked into the soap opera of the rich who are not rich enough. Oh, Mayday! What happened to unspoken equality of the red flag's promise? Is the world really so dependent on the sound of tills and banks filling up with gold? That's it.
Excellent, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you. And so my last one for tonight is called Grandad. The head of my clan was a tic-tac man. Careless with his shop, he would sooner be off to cheeses or petty bar dogs, waving fingers, placing odds, taking workers' wages. The head of my clan, he had no family plan, careless with his cock, he'd be on and then off, breeding uncles and mouthy aunties, with kids to be fed or another one dead. He would need those workers' wages. The head of my clan, he had married my nan, created sons, and one too many daughters. On the course he would hustle, on the farms he would rustle, and damage those farmers' wages. The head of my clan he was, no fancy Danny, did what he did when he did it. With a grin and a smile, no thoughts for a while, he didn't do stuff in planned stages. The head of my clan, he was a well-loved man, there's not a lot more left for me to say. He may have left us with note, he was good to us kids, though facing the skids by frittering away everyone's wages. My granddad.
And he was.
Oh, that was lovely. There's some really beautiful bits in there, especially the bit about when a child died.
Yeah, my kind of right. My mother was one of 9 kids.
How many?
Like, however, I think she. 9 and 5 miscarriages.
Gosh.
So quite a lot, really. Mhm.
And your grandfather was a tic-tac man, you say?
Yes, he was a tic-tac man. He did all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, God gracious me. Yes.
Downs.
Yes, Epsom Downs. Yes, my mother used to go to Epsom Downs to watch the races and the tic-tac men.
Yeah.
They used to wear bright white gloves, didn't they?
Right, I don't know. I was around to see that. He did a lot of other things as well. He was a shopkeeper, kind of like ran a club. But I remember drinking a Coke at his club, or was it a Vimto? It was a Vimto, yeah. Yes, and he was a rogue.
Yes, well that's that. Yeah, well that's good for a tic-tac man. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a rogue, and everybody loved him.
Yes.
Got a horse.
Yeah.
So to choose a challenge.
I've got a horse.
Yes.
What was that?
Has anybody got a challenge?
Yes. What about?
Have you
I
got?
mean, for next month.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't hear you, Denis.
I was thinking, what about the solstice?
Yeah.
But it's the solstice time of year.
Is it June the 21st? The solstice.
Yeah.
Because I was born on the summer solstice.
Wow.
I was in Cape Town, so that was the winter solstice, the 21st of December. So, I mean, there you are. It's when the days start getting shorter.
Oh no, we don't want to think about getting shorter. We want to stay longer.
Only just started getting longer. Yeah. The solstice. Yeah, well, that's a good one. Yeah.
Okay, solstice. Any way of extending that, making it more open?
Yes, I mean, solstice is a rather narrow field, I suppose, but then what the hell?
It's about change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And marking, isn't it? Because it's also before all the crops blossom.
But it is about a kind of change. Sorry.
Mm.
Okay, solstice.
And
So-
change, maybe the
And
solstice change.
So stara steti statum stisse. The sun stands still. That's the Latin provenance. Okay, sorry about that.
So I think so too. Right, how dare you bring in some Latin? Okay, so we're going to call it solstice changes. Well, I'll send everybody an email with Michelle's kind of email on it.
When does Michelle want these things? 'Cause
As soon as possible.
I'm sorry, I'm Not sure I've heard it all properly. I need to see it in writing. If somebody could send it to me.
That's okay, I will.
Who do I send it to? To Michelle or to you?
No, I'd like to do a recording of you on Zoom reading it.
Oh, okay. And you will do it there and I'll do it here.
Yeah, I'll just send you a link and a time
Okay.
and we can just do it.
But you tell me which ones you want.
Your bus ones.
Well, then that'll be one, I suppose. There's always one best. All the others aren't the best.
Or do a few, because you could also do the whole interview if you like, because I've been interviewing conductors and bus drivers.
Well, who's this for, by the way?
It's going to go in an archive in the London Transport Museum, but the collages are going to go on Disability Arts in Line's website, and people will be able to listen to them at home, or they'll be able to take them on the bus
Okay.
and hear them on
a... Michelle, can you email me just to get it in writing? Because, as you know, I do have problems with hearing, and I don't want to.
Can you say to Richard you're happy for him to give me your email?
Yes, of course. Good Lord, yes.
Yeah, it's just data
As long as
protection.
you're not selling me anything.
No, I'm not selling you anything. I can if you want, but I'm not sure where I'd start.
Okay.
I don't have any life insurance policies.
I'm looking for a footrest at the moment.
Okay.
My swollen feet.
Oh no. You need one of those Moroccan puffs that you fill up and they...
Oh. Okay. What are they?
You know, they used to sell those leather things. They were called
those
buffets.
Those poofs, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is something that has to go into my bed, actually, so my feet are up.
Oh, I think you have to go to like...
a poof in my bed, thanks.
No, you don't want that. You want an occupational therapist.
Perhaps, have you tried a pillow?
Yeah, well, the pillow's not big enough. I've tried 2 pillows on top of each other, but by the time I wake up in the morning, they're flattened. I need something flexible, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about my health. I'll start sounding like my mother at this rate.
Okay, then. Lovely. So I'll hear from you all shortly.
Yep.
And I'll hear from you very shortly too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm signing off now, Richard.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
'Cause I've
Denis,
got
thank you.
food.
Thank you, Michelle. Oh,
Thank you very much.
Susie.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay then.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, eh?
Bye.
And that
Goodbye,
last,
Christopher. Goodbye, Gwyneth.
that last piece was just so good. Thank you for that.
Mm,
That's okay. Thank you.
okay. Bye bye.